Good evening. I'm Frank Uragwan, and we are here at the Assembly of God Church in Vale with Julie and Curtis Holt. And it's November 4, 2021. And we're kind of just walking together, talking together. You know, we talk to people about all sorts of things, and I couldn't help but think, here is Julie Holt, and she is bus supervisor, which is really kind of behind the scenes. And there is Curtis Holt right out here, pastor. How long have you folks been here in Vale?
We've been here about 6 years and 4 months.
And you've been pastor here the whole time?
Yes.
Plus, I understand, I just heard Julie used to actually be your boss. Because you had another position, right? What was that?
I'll let her talk about that.
Okay. Well, Julie, I'm really interested. Bus supervisor, we know there is such a thing. But you know, most of us, we have no idea what a bus supervisor for the Vale School District is in charge of or has to do.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff, just coordinating and keeping things correct and making sure there's a driver, and if there's not a driver, we have to pick up the kids.
Oh, so you fill in then sometimes?
Oh, yes.
You do. So that's a part of it too.
Yes.
Now, how have we done so far as drivers? Because, you know, we're hearing all over, job notices and all, and we're hearing it's really tough to get people. How's it been for bus drivers?
Well, we've kept most, but we do need some more people to fill in. So
You do?
I've been doing lots of driving, yes.
Lots of driving. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, so you then do the scheduling. You're in charge of providing the bus drivers. Now, you just lost Curtis as a bus driver.
I know.
How in the world did that happen? He was going to let you tell us about that.
Well, I've done multiple jobs since I've been here at the school. Maintenance work, janitorial work, did different jobs for others in the community. And before I came, it was the same way. I worked different jobs. So I determined early in the spring or the first of the year, I said, you know, maybe it's time to just start narrowing things down. So I thought, well, I could be a sub after last year. And then as we got closer to the end of the year, I thought, you know, if I'm a sub, I could drive every day.
That's right.
And so I says, I'll just have to be done.
You got to just cut it off then.
And then just spend all my working hours at the church.
Yeah, okay.
So, which was an adjustment.
I imagine being a pastor often will require kind of side jobs and doing different things. Has that been true?
Well, you do different things. You know, you have graveside services, funerals, and
yes.
But it opens up that you can devote all your time to those and visiting people as you're able to visit more people.
Great.
Reach other people in the community.
Talking about visiting, that's kind of been limited for all of us. What has been the effect on both of you with regard to this past, Seems like we're almost approaching a year to, it's wait, plus. Over 18 months. Yeah, we're going to be approaching in 22, 2 years. So what's the effect, first of all, with regard to your duties? Have you noticed a big change?
Well, yes, we couldn't do trips or in-person, education, and so the school was very, helped provide a job for all the drivers, and we found stuff for them to do. They weeded and painted, and
so you kept the routine.
Yes.
You kept your drivers. Of course, it probably would be difficult to do otherwise, really, to cut them off and then expect them to come right back. How about you, Curtis? What's been the effect the last almost 2 years on what you've done and what you've encountered here in the church and elsewhere?
One thing is we went to online services, but that there was still at least 9 or 10 of us here because there were 9 or 10 on the worship team.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was an adjustment just to change from talking to 9 people in the audience or less.
Yes.
And then as we've continued on, now people, if they're not well, they just stay home.
Mm-hmm.
And then the part about visiting, for a while you had to be careful, who you'd visit. You'd call and say, can I come visit? If they said yes, well, I would come and visit. But, you couldn't just jump in and go visit somebody because people have concerns.
Yes.
So that was an adjustment.
Yeah. It's really been kind of a topsy-turvy climate, hasn't it, for all of us. Now, what we try to do in these kind of walking together, talking together, is think about, in spite of that, in spite of the struggles you've had, what has really been positive for you through this whole thing? Can you think of?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Tell us about that.
Well, you bind together and you get the job done, and you're a team. And
So it's really brought more teamwork, brought things together. How about you, Curtis?
I think in the church it showed, and some of these ladies mentioned, that everyone has a responsibility and the importance of being together. Because there were some that didn't come for, I think we were just online, I think, for like 8 Sundays. And so some, they were just saying, we have to have everything that we've done before. And so, but to get them involved, that it's not just the pastor's job, that all of them are to be involved in helping in the building and the growing of the church and being involved in the community.
Well, that's good. That ties into teamwork, doesn't it? And I guess that's kind of true for all of us, isn't it?
Yep.
If there is, and maybe this whole thing has sort of demonstrated just how important all of us are to one another.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And again, in the future, we'll be walking together, talking together again. God bless.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you.